Who is Katred? People have a lot of misconceptions about me. She's psychotic. She's a woman. She has to be crazy. You have no idea who I am. How would you feel if you were ripped from your home and sent here, into this body, into this flesh prison, as punishment? What if the only way to redeem yourself would be to be successful in this business? What if you only had a certain amount of time to do it in? Or else you wouldn't be allowed back. What would you do? What wouldn't you do? People have been asking the wrong question. It's not who am I? It's what.
This is the Clockwork Angel, Katred, and you're listening to the rights and wrongs of pro wrestling with Mr. Green.
You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, today on the podcast we have what some might consider a very unique guest. You might even say an earthly one. And, that's at your discretion. She's made claims that she's essentially a fallen angel, and she wants to be welcomed back home. Now, we're going to go into that in detail and try to define what that is exactly. But what thing is clear is that in order for her to get home, she has to be successful in the venue that we call professional wrestling. That is very fascinating stuff. So, my guest for the evening is the Clockwork Angel, Katred. Katred, how are you?
Hi, Brian. Good. How are you?
I am fine. I hope none of that stuff that I gave there was insulting or anything like that. I was trying to do my best to define you, and I was having a hard time doing it because clearly I don't want to ensue your wrath.
That's okay. Although I will point out that there's nothing fallen about this angel. This is clearly just a being that's just residing in my body, dormant, waiting to help me out. I have control over most of my body and my functions and everything else, and it's just waiting there to help me, which sounds great, but I have yet to see that happen. And we don't have a lot of time here. We're on a tight schedule, we'll say.
Okay, now what is a tight schedule? Now I've seen, in my research, I've seen you, and here's the hard part. I'm hesitant to say you because I'm not really sure which version of you I'm speaking to, but I'll just say it all the same.
You're speaking to the original.
Okay, I'm speaking to the original. Okay, I've seen you do promos and interviews and things of that nature, and time is always a common theme here. It's time is running out. I gotta get, this has to happen, and it always seems very, very immediate. Is there a certain date or a time frame, months, years? I mean, what are we looking at here?
There is. You're right on it. There is a countdown, essentially. Now, what that date is, I can't even really pinpoint it yet, I will say. I've seen, I don't even want to call it visions. It's just sometimes I'll see that it says years, months, days, as if it is a countdown. And I haven't seen the numbers yet, but it's definitely there. And once I start piecing that together, we'll finally have a date. And, when you have an end date to something, when you have a goal, you need to start working towards that goal, whatever you need to do.
And you fully believe everything that you're telling me right now.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not here to make you believe it or anyone else, really. I have my agenda. I want to be successful. I need to be successful. And if I don't, who knows what the consequences will be other than, obviously me failing at my dream. But this angel that obviously is living inside of me right now has got a job to do. Boss man gave her a job. Needs to do it. Same thing here on Earth. You got a job, you need to do it. If you don't, there are always consequences. There's always a price to pay. So we need to start making this happen.
Fair enough. Again, not trying to step on any toes or anything like that. So I'm going to try my best in the course of this interview to provide as much information about the original's background and the angel's background, if I can,
I love it.
to the fans of who have followed you. And I'm not sure if your fans even understand the ramifications of which you exist under. So we're going to try to explain that to the best of our ability. So let's
and
start.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, and I thank you for taking the time out to do this because an unearthly entity, if you will, being interviewed
Yes.
is kind of a difficult thing. So let's start with who is Katred. Now, is Katred the original?
Katred is the original.
Okay, Katred
Yes,
is the original
absolutely.
mortal vessel.
Yes, sir.
Does the entity that resides within Katred carry a name also?
If it does, it's never told me. And I feel like if it did, I probably couldn't have pronounced it anyway. So we'll just leave it as the angel.
Oh, okay. Well, explain to me who is the Clockwork Angel.
Wow, that's a great question. Well, as far as me, mortal,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a girl who loved wrestling since I've been 6 years old. This has been my dream since I was little. I've loved it so much. And I actually tried to start around when I was 19. And life happens like anything else.
Indeed.
And I have to take care of my family first.
Okay.
And that took some time. And I, of course, will do anything for anything. But as far as the wrestling world, you can say that I started late in this game. So when I decided to have one more go at it, I said, let's just try. Let's see what happens. And I started again when I was 30. So did it and started training. And now the wrestling world has just sort of engulfed me, and it's been a crazy ride. I'm still that same little girl that gets all excited just to watch now my friends wrestle in a ring or see stories or see really crazy cool moves. I'm still that same little girl. I just get to now do that with my friends, so that's a pretty cool part of it.
I would imagine so, and considering that you have entity residing inside of you, I'm going to assume that you may carry a bit of an unfair advantage in terms of age. I mean, you said that you got involved in it late, and quote, you got involved at 30. That's not it's not altogether old, but I understand what you're saying when you say.
Well, bless your heart.
Well, I'm not going to go off into my age now, so this needless to say, in mortal years, I'm older than 30, so we'll
okay.
we'll go into that. But the point being is that if there's some sort of entity that resides in the unit, who knows that that is suspending the normal aging process or what have you. You may have a bit of an advantage as it regards to that. Would you say so, or do you feel that way? Do you feel as if, hey, in terms of mortal years, I might be a 30 something, but because of the angel that is
Well,
here, I
that's
feel like
that's a
19.
good. That's a really great perspective on it, and that could be. However, I still feel 97 after after working a 4-way. So I don't know how much it's helping me feel young again. I still feel pain. I still feel aches, and I've broken things along my journey.
Hmm.
It is helping me. Maybe it's just giving me better skin, which thank you. I don't have to use a night cream, but I don't know. That would be great if it is delaying the age process. We'll have to time will tell. Time will tell a lot of things, won't it?
And here we get you know what? I guess I might have answered my own question because time seems to be the dominant subject here, and I was going to ask you what
It is the
exactly
theme.
I see. And I was going to ask you what was the Clockwork Angel, but again, that may have answered my own question because time seems to be, kind of slipping into almost everything here. But since I bring it up just for verification, I'm going to ask anyway
Sure.
because that was on my list. What is,
Yes,
or
please.
explain to me, who is the Clockwork Angel?
She is a wrestler that is running out of time. And whether or not time is real, which is debatable, feels real while you're here on Earth, let me tell you. She's someone who is desperate to reach her goal and can actually feel that time, that sense of urgency getting closer and closer. And that might make her a bit more erratic, might make her a little bit more violent, might make her a little bit more unpredictable at times. But I feel like that's anything. When you start having an end goal and you don't know how much time you had, but you can feel that it's getting close to the end. You start doing anything and everything in your power to make your desire happen.
Okay. Uh, that doesn't sound necessarily the description of angelic to me, but you know, I will.
Well, the angel itself is, I'm sure, very angelic. You got to remember also, this is the first time I'm assuming this angel is living in a human body. It's experiencing humanity and being a human being and all the emotions that go with it. Angel's not really going to feel rage and anger and all this. So it's taking an observer kind of perspective at this point, just going, wow, all these feelings are happening.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting for it, her, I don't even know what pronoun to use with it, to just help me out.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I can go with that. I understand. For those that are listening, I'll try to explain it, or we'll put that in layman's terms for you comic book readers out there. I guess this would be go and check out the Dark Phoenix saga. I guess that would probably be the closest thing
Yes.
to
Oh, that's brilliant. Great reference. Great reference.
well, wrestling fans seem to go hand in hand with comic book fans, so
Absolutely.
I tend to think that this is probably the closest thing that I can say a being a celestial, an earthly entity that has gained control of, for lack of a better term, a human being, and even though they possess a power that is beyond the human imagination, just residing within a human body is almost too much for them to handle in terms of emotion and stuff like that. So apparently, Katred is
You hit it right on the head.
well, all those years of comic book readings have paid off apparently. So good shout out to those guys that wrote the
It's
X-Men comics.
definitely, yes. Yeah. Well, and it was a surprise to me reading all those years and having it happen to me. It's a little surreal, but
I
you
bet.
just have to go with it.
Have you not thought that maybe I shouldn't be doing this? Maybe I should, you know, I don't want to use the term reject. Reject is probably a little harsh. How can I say it? That maybe I shouldn't accept the help of this angel, because it seems like there's a lot of on the line, and that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight to
It is.
carry.
It is a lot of weight to carry, and you can probably tell whenever you see me in my matches how much that weight is now affecting me.
I did. And
I don't think I can just, for lack of a better term, reject. I think we're in it now. There is no, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. This is happening, and it's running its course.
Oh, okay. So you no longer have a choice in the matter.
I don't have a choice in the matter. This is happening. Till what end date? I'm sure I'm going to find out soon. And when I do, everyone will know, because it'll literally be a countdown to possibly the end of my career. Who knows? But we'll have to see when that date comes up.
Wow. Okay. This is let me reiterate, this is a far more unique interview that I performed than I have done previously. And previously to you, I interviewed a dinosaur, or at least a dinosaur woman.
Oh, and that's my favorite dinosaur, might I add.
She's a lovely woman. She's a lovely woman, and
she is my favorite dinosaur.
And I saw a picture of both of you together, and made the comic a dinosaur and an angel, which is a unique combination, to say the least.
It is. We would probably make a great theme.
You know what? I'm not sure if I want to see.
It's a pretty name, like some divine prehistoric force right there.
I don't know if I. I don't know if I want to see that. A divine, yes, I guess it would be it, but I'm not sure if I want to see the Clockwork
You don't
Angel.
know if you're ready for it yet.
I don't know if I'm ready for that quite yet. That might be a little bit too much to process.
Okay. That's all right.
You have one lady that's willingly and wantingly to turn into a dinosaur, and I will plug my own interview with her right now. If you haven't heard it, this is
please check it out.
This is out of her own mouth. When I pitched the idea that she was wrestling to prevent the change of turning into a dinosaur, it's like, I don't know, I might want to turn into a dinosaur. I was like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. And
I will plug that same interview. Please go listen to that interview, because that dinosaur is amazing.
Yes, she is. She is a wonderful person, and you, not. You said not to refer. I guess I can't refer to it as a fallen angel, but a angel on a mission. We'll say that.
I like that. Oh man, you're just knocking it out of the park today.
Well, that is the job of the interviewer.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. There you go. So we have an angel on a mission that resides in your being.
That's right.
And just in preparation for you, I was watching an episode of The Greatest American Hero that dealt with possession. So, go figure. Yeah.
Possession sounds like a very negative term, though. I feel like everybody who thinks possession is, they kind of get a little eerie on that.
Well,
I like to think of it as, I don't know, channeling, hosting.
well, that's true, but you know, it was close. I guess if you want to call it that.
Yeah, no, I get you.
It was the entity that was wanting to, you know, she wanted something so desperately that she was willing to inhabit the body of this man and, you know, try to take him over because, like, hey, you know, this is my last chance to do it. And that rings, you know, I'm watching this episode on YouTube, by the way. So if anybody's looking for it,
Okay.
you know, it's Greatest
Check it
American
out.
Hero, season 2, the Beast. I can't remember the name of the episode. Sorry, but it rang so true and so close to everything that I read about you. That sounds like a certain amount of, and I'm hesitant to say it, a certain amount of desperation that
exists. That's right on.
Okay, that's right on. You know, a certain amount of desperation that exists in trying to be successful. Now, which leads to the next question: what is the definition of successful here? What defines I've made it? Or what defines to the angel that we've completed our task? What is the thing that will say, okay, we've accomplished our goal, and I say we because, you know, we're speaking in plural between Katred and the angel.
That's right.
So what is it?
I
do we know?
This question so much. And there's the thing. That's the question, isn't it? What is success? That's what my whole journey is about, trying to find the definition and what is successful. I'm out here trying to find the key to open that door to this goal for me to become a success in the business. And with every match, I'll always look up and say, all right, is that it? Or was it winning a match that did it? I've won matches. It's still here. You know, is it winning matches consecutively? Is it going through tournaments? Is it international travel? What is success? And that's what I'm trying to find out, because there has to be something. There has to be that key to unlock this whole thing, to unlock this, you know, to end this mission, as you call it. And that's what we're trying to find out. That's what I'm trying to find out. I would love to know what your listeners think, to be honest with you. What is the definition of success to them? Because I'll take anything. I need everyone's help, because this angel, I don't want to say it like this. It sounds pretty awful, but it's got to go. I need to do my thing. Obviously, it needs to go home. Let's make everybody happy here, and just do it. I need to find out what is success.
Okay. Now, that statement alone brings up an entirely different line of questions. Most prevalent being, the assumption would be that you have accepted the angel and that you're perfectly fine with it, and that you know everything is, you know, we're in sync here, and everything's, you know.
Oh, we are not in sync.
You're not in sync. Okay, I think that's kind of maybe that's a misconception, because I thought that you and the angel were perfectly fine, and that you were good with helping the angel achieve its goal. I don't know if it's a he or she, or even if that qualifies for that matter. But
I love that you're making it sound like I have to help it out. It actually has to help me out.
Okay.
So
So it's in
I'm
reverse.
really over here. Oh yeah, I understand. It has its motive. It needs to go home.
Mhm.
Understandable. But I'm the one that asked for help here.
Okay. When the angel does assume
Help.
control or help, we'll call it help. When it does
Yeah.
help you, are you aware that you are being helped? Does it just, do you black out? Do you know? Do you have any recollection of anything that it does when it just assumes the steering wheel that is your body?
I was just about to say, the best way I can describe it is as if we're in a car, and when it happens, I get knocked to the back seat. I'm not stepping on the pedal anymore. I'm not steering, but I can see everything that's happening. I'm just not in control of the car. I might be backseat driving, and maybe, doing that too much knocks me back into the driver's seat, because that has happened in matches.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, there's confusion and there's chaos, but I'm always aware of it. It sort of takes over at that point.
All right. Well, let's try to bring this down to a mortal level for a moment.
Okay.
Where, I should say, does Katred consider her home promotion?
Ooh, that's a good question. Gosh, that's so hard because I feel very gypsy-like. But I would say right now
Now, if there's no home
my
promotion,
home.
I'm not going to put you in any jeopardy. Now, I'm not gonna
No.
put you back you in the corner or nothing like that.
No. I feel my home promotion right now is House of Hardcore.
House of Art. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay.
That is a very good one.
House of Hardcore. All right. So with Mr. Dreamer. Okay, I like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so House of Hardcore would be considered the home promotion, and I'm assuming that the Angel agrees that it is the home.
Angel does. This is one thing that we agree on. We agree on a couple of things, and this is definitely one of them.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Uh, well, I'm trying to walk this line here. I hope that you can see that I'm doing my best.
Be free.
Okay.
You are doing so well, and don't you ever feel like you need to walk on eggshells. You ask what your heart desires.
Well, thank you very much. And I will say this, that the either the angel or yourself provided me a phenomenal write up as to who Katred was. I mean, it was outstanding to the point that I feel like it needs to be out there in the world somewhere. But
well, maybe one day it will. That would be amazing. How great would it be to have a Katred, the Clockwork Angel?
It should be. Oh my goodness, it should be. I mean, that it's it's a great write up, and for anybody that's listening right now, I hope that if you contact her, I hope that she is able to like just give you a PDF file of it or something like that. It is it's probably the most accurate and descriptive write up of the backstory of Katred as you could probably get. Now, this is a good audio version of it, but if you're a reader, if you like to read these things, if you like to see it in print, it is probably the best way that you could ever see this. And I'm going to suggest to Katred and her angel that they put it on the PDF file for the masses to see.
Well, we will definitely take that into consideration.
Oh, okay. I hope so. I hope so. Wrestling is or sports entertainment, I guess as we call it these days, is such a
right.
it's such a funny industry.
It is.
We have the Demented in Dimension Rose. We have a talking doll in Tragedy Ann. We have a Angel, who was on a Angel on a mission, as we defined it earlier, and, and yourself. We have the leader of the Hive in Rosemary, who's on Impact Wrestling and who speaks of herself in third person all the time or in plural.
Right.
We have a dinosaur.
Yes.
Tara
Why
Calloway.
not?
You know, why is it that wrestling has attracted so many unique personalities? And I just want to hear your perspective on it, or the Angels' perspective on it, for that matter.
I mean, I really do go back to what I just said. Why not? I mean, I feel like this is what attracted us all to sports entertainment. Yes, the wrestling is amazing. Seeing cool moves and flipping and all this chain wrestling, it's all great. We love that. But you go there to be emotionally invested, and characters bring that out of you. There's a talking doll. Why is there a talking doll? I don't know, but I want to know about this talking doll. I want to know the backstory and why she's fighting with this dinosaur. And now you have a story. We crave stories. We crave just that moment to forget about everything going on in your life, all your troubles, all your problems, just for the 8 minutes that you're watching a match, and get lost in a story about a dinosaur versus a talking doll. Because when you're walking down the street, unless you live in New York, you're probably not really going to see that story anywhere. I've seen many other things walking along here, but that's definitely one thing that take time out of your day to turn your brain off, and you just want to see the story happen. And I think this influx of all these interesting and different and new characters almost brings us back to a time where we used to watch when we were younger. Think of all the characters that were huge from when we were younger. The Ultimate Warrior. Look at Papa Shango. These were, all these different characters that we were drawn to because they were different, because they were interesting. And I'm glad that's happening. I'm glad that's coming back.
Papa Shango. Now there's a name right there. Oh my goodness.
That's a name.
Caused the green goo to come out the Ultimate Warrior's head. I mean, whew.
I'll never forget that. Nightmares for weeks.
Does the Angel have something capable in her capable to do those things, or is that just not something that she's trying to
I don't
accomplish?
want to know. I'm not even trying to think. I don't want green goo coming out my mouth.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've made it.
I don't know either, but I'm gonna hope that that's not on the agenda.
Okay, all right. That's okay. That's fair enough. I was gonna say, you've made it sound so desperate to get back to home that nothing's off the table. So I don't know if she's gonna, and I say she, but we'll just refer to her.
But I get it.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if she would do those things to ensure victory for you, or cause
if anything,
curse.
I feel like I'm more with the that that wants to do things more out of desperation. There's definitely a calmness about it, her, whatever we want to call it. But when it comes into play, it comes into play, and when it takes control, it's pretty intense. So yeah, I'm still hoping no green goo though. I feel like that wouldn't help either of us.
Well, I hope there's no green goo. I really do. I don't want to see that, necessarily.
I don't want to see that either.
Okay, so now we're going to go into some of the stuff that the Angel now, and I understand, and I'm going to preface this statement to those listening that you, being the mortal vessel, may not have the answers to these questions because
I will try to the best of my ability.
okay. So, do you know what caused this angel to be removed from home in the first place?
Oh, absolutely. I asked. I mean,
You
I didn't
asked?
ask it directly.
Okay.
I didn't. I did sort of in an act of desperation, as we've been, talking about this. I was just in a place as far as training and wrestling and how much I've loved this all my life. I just wasn't getting it fast enough for me. I've loved this so much, and anything that I've put my mind to and that I've really been passionate about, it's come somewhat easily. It came effortlessly, whether it was sports or school. But then you got wrestling, and God, I love this so much. So I was fully expecting, stupidly, that this was going to come just as easy, and it didn't. And that just got to me. It hurt my heart, and I just threw my hands up one night and just kind of looked up at the sky and shouted out, like, if there's anybody up there, anybody, I need help. I just want to be successful in this thing that I love so much. If there's anybody up there, please help. And the rest, as they say, history.
Indeed. Now, that would be the definition of what happened on the mortal plane. But was there any conversation, if you will, as to why this particular angel was chosen to be? I mean, because clearly it doesn't necessarily want to be here. Home is where it wants to be. So it almost sounds like
home
a
is
punishment.
definitely where it wants to be. It's definitely, it wants to do its job, is the feeling. I wouldn't say conversation is a word we would use here. It's really about feeling. I can feel that it wants to go home, because honestly, if you were stranded somewhere else that you're not used to, you would want to go home. I get it totally.
Indeed. Yeah.
So it wants to do its job so it can go back. Being human, I'm assuming, is just, it's a different experience. If you came from a place where everything was great and everything was effortless and everything was filled with love and, what else is up wherever the angel is, when you come to the harsh reality that is Earth and everything that comes with that, yeah, I would go home too. So I totally get that. It's not so much that it's not really that, it's angry or anything like that. It wants to get the job done to go back home, period. And I get that. I totally do.
Well, it sounds just like a punishment, though. It sounds like, man, I got to get this done so I can get the hell out of here, and maybe that's not the right choice of words, sorry, but
I think that's our own human emotions kind of putting that into. I think it's it's grateful for the opportunity to help, but at the same token,
I got to
realizing I got to get it done. Yeah.
Okay.
Got to get it done and see my way out.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with this then. There must be something that, since being here and experiencing emotion and humanity and this, that, and the other for the first time, okay, yes, I want to get back home, but okay, this is nice. Whether that is, hey, I tasted pizza for the first time, or or TV, or I don't know, whatever the case may be, there has to have been something that has, I'm going to assume, that has come across that, like, okay, well, I want to get back home, but you know what, this made it not so bad.
Well, yes, There's TV. It's not impressed with.
TV
Does
is
not like. I tried Netflix. I tried Hulu. So many things. Video games. Just not impressed with anything.
really
Loves
wow.
nature. Loves nature,
Mm.
which I guess is understandable. Food is just sort of like interesting to it. It's like, okay, this is just different. Didn't need to eat before, but this is a new experience. The only thing really that we've kind of connected to that is like, oh, this is a great feeling, is laughter and I guess you could say falling in love or seeing people fall in love, which was nice. Like, okay, I get that. But other than that, hates traffic. I mean, actually, now I'm thinking about it, we're very similar. Hate traffic, don't like the MTA. Yeah,
Maybe
not
perhaps
too many things.
that might be the reason that y'all were matched to begin with. That
That we both hate the MTA. Yeah, that could probably absolutely be the reason why we were matched up.
but
We're both annoyed at the 7 train.
But see, now the beauty there that you just said, and we can't overlook this, is that love. That's always that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful
It
thing.
is a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
And somehow this entity has been able to experience it through you in some way, shape, or form. So has that not kind of quenched the thirst of I got to get out of here to some small degree?
I think actually, if anything, it's a good question. Regardless of whether it's quenched it or not, I'm sure it's felt wonderful to it. It still has a job to do. If you have a job and you only have, let's say, 2 weeks to do it in, whether you had a good time or not, you still only have 2 weeks to do it in.
Well, that's true. That's true. Now, and it's a shame because I got this whole list of questions here, but I keep going off of the track because of the stuff that you say. So I'm gonna.
No, this is great. I need this also. Trust me. It's great to finally get this out and just talk about it. And like I said before, regardless of I'm not here to prove my story. I'm not trying to say all this to make, everyone believe this is happening, whether people want it to or not. This is something I have to live with. So this is my story.
Indeed. Now, I am going to use this comparison. Okay?
Okay.
I understand there's a job to do. But
Yes.
let's take this in the line of, say, the undercover cop.
Okay.
The undercover cop that goes into, somebody's home and, I got a job to do that I'm supposed to arrest this guy. This guy's bad news. This is my job. This is what I was sent here for. But I have sat here in this guy's house for 9 months, and now I feel a little bit of something for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
Are you following me here? Is there a point where it becomes like, okay, hey, yeah, I know I got a job to do, but hey, this is all right. This is nice. I do find myself enjoying a piece of, hey, Netflix isn't so bad. This Glow series is kind of cool. Stuff like that.
It was very cool.
Yes.
I think if that were to happen, I haven't felt that just yet.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling of, hey, I can kind of get used to this. I haven't felt that just yet.
Okay.
If that were to happen at all, but that would throw in quite the wrench if that were to happen.
I bet it would. That might throw things. Okay, but now what wrench would it throw? Would it mean mass disaster for the world, or would it just mean, okay, I'm stuck here, and by here I mean I guess we're talking about the entity that resides within you. do you know exactly what the consequences are if the task is
I
not
know
completed?
I only know one of the consequences. I'm sure there might be more.
Okay.
I'm assuming, because this kid, from what I gather, if
What is
it
the one?
doesn't complete its mission, it's basically getting a one-way ticket to, what would you even call that? Limbo, I think is what people call it. It's
What?
just that middle ground of it's not heaven, it's not
That's,
earth. It's just nothingness. Think of
well,
solitary confinement.
well, that
Think
sucks.
of just that does suck. So I get that sort of. There's a little bit of desperation there too, even though it's way more calmer than my desperation. I get that. That's from human emotion, but that sucks. So I understand totally
Yeah.
why it would want to go home and not have to deal with that. As
Uh,
far as I go, who knows? Who knows what other consequences there are? Everything comes with a price.
yes, unfortunately. I mean that sounds terrible. Let's start with
Not
that.
pleasant.
That sounds terrible. I mean,
It sounds awful.
okay, so I understand why he, or it would be fighting as hard
Mhm.
as it is to
Yes,
achieve its
sir.
goals through you. Um, and in regards to that, I hope that is achieved, but it's hard to achieve a
I hope so
goal
too.
when you don't know what the goal is.
Right, exactly. And this is this whole struggle of trying to find out what is success. What is going to be, I always have that vision of, a lock and key, and what's going to be that key to finally say, okay, we did it. And, it goes home and I finally become successful in the one thing that I've loved so much all my life. So I guess we're just going to have to watch this journey together.
How will you feel if you achieve this goal? If you actually hit whatever it happens to be and it leaves you, will you still feel whole? Will you feel like something's missing? Have you given thought to this?
I haven't given much thought to that. My eye is on the prize. I want to find out what the key is. I need to keep going out there, keep wrestling, keep going to shows, and just doing what I do. And I'm telling you, after every match, I kind of just stand there for a minute to see if I feel it leave. Am I me again? Well, I guess I'm always me, but do I feel just completely me again? And I haven't thought that far, and I don't know if I should be. I feel like I should really be focusing on my journey and how to make this work.
Okay. Well, let's start with this. And again, we're gonna, prefaces this for those that are listening, and I'm gonna, uh, I guess let's put out some social media for you, for anybody that's listening. First off, you can find her at
Hmm.
facebook.com/Clockwork Angel Katred.
Yes.
That is one location to catch her. You can catch her as I
Hmm.
did on Instagram. Is that also Clockwork Angel Katred, all one word?
Hmm.
And what your Twitter? Is it the same thing?
My Twitter, my Twitter is at Clockwork Katred.
Clockwork Katred. So there you have it, Clockwork Katred at on Twitter. You can find her. The other two, Facebook and Instagram, Clockwork Angel Katred. So how long? Let's define this. Let's try to figure this thing out here. How long has
All
this
right.
existed within your being?
Uh, I I asked for it. See, I've been wrestling and training since about the very end of 2013. Training. I want to say this happened maybe like around the beginning of 2016. 16. So just last year,
Okay.
this whole mess happened.
So within a year's time, you have asked for. Can't
Yes,
overlook that. You asked for and accepted
I did.
this entity that has resided within you since that time, and
Yes.
because of this, you are on a mission, and you also are unaware of how you will react should this being leave you. Because I would think that after doing this and after having it within you for so long, years a long time, after
It
having
is.
that, you might feel a little empty, for lack of a better term.
A little what?
Empty, like something's missing. I would think you feel like something's not there anymore. Like, what
I could see that. I mean, it's like living with a roommate, right?
there you go.
You know,
Like,
you're living with the roommate for how long, and then all of a sudden they're off, and now you're alone in the apartment. And there's definitely, I'm sure, that weird feeling of, you can sense when there's a presence in a room.
there you go. That's a good way to put it.
It very well, yeah, it might very well feel that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm focused on the wrong things.
I don't know.
I just
and that's such a.
I just feel like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's just such a good way to describe it, because you can have your roommate that legitimately gets on your nerves, like, why you keep eating my stuff,
Right.
But
Yes.
when they move out, it's like you don't remember none of that.
Right.
You only remember the good times, like, man, when we used to sit here and play, Xbox together, it was great.
Yeah, we just sit on the couch, go at it at Mario Kart for hours and hours, and
There you go.
have tournaments and all.
Exactly. That
Do that
you
all
got
the time. But I feel like depending on the relationship you have with said roommate, kind of defines how you would feel when they go.
it. Mhm.
You definitely, yes, there will probably have that. Obviously, something is gone, something is missing, because there was something there for so long. Emotionally, I don't know how I would feel. Right now, we have a mission, we have a goal, and I got to stick to that. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We will. I won't touch on it too much.
I feel like you're kind of connecting to the angel right now. I feel like you're kind of feeling for this entity.
I'm not aware that was happening. I mean, I don't know.
I think that was happening. I feel there's sympathy there. I feel like there's,
Well,
I get it. All right.
There's a certain amount of okay, I'll give you that. There's a certain amount of sympathy that I have. Given that. Now, I don't know what kind of influence the angel will have over me. Just talking over the phone, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to understand the situation.
No, it's fine. It's interesting to listen to someone else's perspective on them, because it's different from an outside point of view, right?
Yes, yeah, I would think so. But I also find that you and or the angel have embraced this thing in total and have produced artwork and T-shirts and just promotional stuff in general. Who's responsible for that?
Well, of course, I want to take all the credit, but
you want to take all the credit.
Yes, there was some influence there. I want to, but there was definitely some influence there. It definitely, because you figure this is all part of the whole wrestling business, isn't it? Merchandise is a thing.
It is.
Artwork, all that, that's all part of it. And who knows if that's going to lead to the success part of it. So we're going to try everything we can. If we need to do, YouTube videos, okay, maybe that's part of it. So let's do that. If we have to cut 1,000,001 promos, then we're going to do that. All this is related to wrestling and the business right now. So we're going to do all of it until we find that key. So, yeah, we collaborated and we got some merchandise. So we're trying to promote. We're trying to make things happen.
Okay, and for those that are looking to acquire this merchandise, how would they do that?
Well, right now I'm only selling shirts at shows that I'm at. I don't have any online store just yet. If that becomes a thing, if that becomes a demand, that would be great. But as of right now, you guys can just follow what shows I'm at. I come out and see me, and I will have shirts and 8x10s and all that thing that all those things that usually everybody has for you to take home.
Now, that sounds like that might be one of those hurdles that the Angel's trying to overcome. I'm just guessing.
What's that?
Selling. You said
Sell it.
yeah, you can only do it live at shows you're at right now. I mean, ain't you not really aware of what it's going to take? Maybe it's selling stuff online. Hint, hint.
Maybe it's selling stuff online. That could be it. You are a genius, sir. All right, so we're going to put this to the test then. I'm going to see if I could create an online store. If anybody wants to buy shirts, 8x10s, we'll start racking them out. And if people start buying and all of a sudden the Angel pops it back up to where it needs to be, I will be the first one to call you and thank you for finding the key to being a success in the wrestling business. Merchandise.
That's right. Well, I think we have to be clear here because the wrestling business is a little bit different than the sports entertainment business. So I don't know what the definition of success between the two would be as far as your Angel is concerned. So.
Is it not rolled up all into one?
That depends. Not because I exist in Atlanta, and I come from a time where there was the NWA, and we was looking at Georgia Championship Wrestling and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Gordon Solie, Tony Schiavone, David Crockett, and all those good, all that stuff going on like that, and they believed in wrestling.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now you move up to the Northeast, the triangle up there, where it was WWF. That was very much a wrestling product, but they started to feed into sports entertainment also. It was, TNT, the Tuesday Night Titans TV show, Prime Time, which later became Raw, and they had all this good stuff like that. So it's not a huge difference, but it's just enough of a difference to cause some discrepancy. That makes sense?
Right. It does.
Okay.
It does. Which is why, yes, I'm definitely with you. But then again, that almost, adds more to the task, doesn't it? Now you're trying to find success in all these different avenues. Maybe that's what it takes. Maybe you have to be successful in every single aspect of sports entertainment, wrestling business, everything. Maybe all of that will finally add up to the key.
That is.
And if that's the case, then I got a lot of work to do.
Yes, you do. And probably more than necessary. That is. You got a huge task and a giant wall to overcome. What is
in a short amount of time, possibly?
Potentially, yes. Potentially a short amount of time to accomplish this in.
That's right.
What is Katred's big move?
My big move, as far as like
finish.
My wrestling moves?
Yes.
Finish.
Well, I hope your wrestling
big moves.
I don't know what other moves you know. I guess I could ask what you
I
do
got
on
some
the
pretty
dance
good
floors.
dance moves.
Oh, okay.
I got some good dance moves. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not sure if the angel's concerned about your dance moves though.
Not at all. I feel it rolling its eyes right now as we speak.
You sure?
So as far as
Maybe you
wrestling
should
moves,
take the angel to the disco. You know, that might lighten
that
it
might
up some.
work. I was watching Glow, and they did have that roller rink. Do they still do that with disco and all? Because if they do, I'm all on it.
Well, I don't know if they got the disco music necessarily, but I think you can hit the roller rink, and you can get out there just like that wolf chick that was on there, and just howl.
That's right.
There you go.
I'll do it.
See, I saw all 10 episodes. I'm with you. I know what's going on.
Big move. Top rope spinning elbow.
Top rope spinning elbow. All right.
Yep. Called 3 seconds to midnight.
Okay. And where do we come up with this, might I ask?
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this. There is and you can Google this. There's something called the Doomsday Clock. It's a fictional clock that is kind of measures how the world,
how close we are to
how
extinction.
close the world, basically, right. And for the longest time, the whole entire world was 3 minutes to midnight. So I sort of took that and obviously shortened it because you get a pin 1, 2, 3, takes 3 seconds. So just called it 3 seconds to midnight.
Well, we're a little closer to that now, apparently.
We are a little closer to that. I checked not too long ago and went, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it as is for now, just so that way it doesn't remind me.
Yeah, I mean, I know that this is a wrestling podcast, and I don't go anything political, but I will just say that since a change of regime, the clock has ticked closer now, and I'll leave it at that. So
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's a little bit closer than what it was. That's all I can say. So yes, 3 seconds to midnight. Now, is this any relation to? I think I saw one lady perform what I defined as a corkscrew elbow at the time. Riot, who exists.
Yes, you are exactly right. I actually saw her perform that move. Oh my God, years ago, and I don't know. I just fell in love with it. I thought, how cool, how amazing is this move, and how unique. I don't see this performed at all. Rarely.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
no,
I don't.
Nobody did it.
And I wanted, right, and I wanted something different, and I feel like, maybe this has to go with the whole time and clock thing. Maybe it just happened, but I feel like a lot of my moveset has to do, has a circular sort of theme to it. So this fit right in there.
I'm a little surprised because I thought that was kind of I can't say a rarity, but it was kind of a hidden gem. We'll call it that.
It really was, yes.
Particularly because it existed within the WoW franchise, because nobody kind of took that seriously, particularly at the time.
Right.
Nothing against WoW.
But I was watching everything.
Oh, well, as was I.
Right.
I try to keep my eyes on it, and they've certainly changed. I'm going to give credit to them now. They've certainly changed their whole motif from 2001 to present day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think Riot wrestles any longer. I know she's made an appearance. So it was a cool move then.
This is definitely a nod to her, because it was amazing then, and I still find it incredible. So thank you so much, Riot.
I'm surprised she never used it as a finish, but
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna say? So there we go. So anybody that's looking for that, you can probably find it on YouTube now because I believe the entire pay-per-view, even if it's broken up, exists on YouTube. So what you want to look for is you want to look for Riot versus Wendy Wheels, and you can see that
Yes.
that corkscrew elbow. It may be the single best thing performed on that pay-per-view.
It was unbelievable. That's what it hooked me. And that's what you want to do. You want to hook everybody in.
Now I know there are going to be some people that's going to go out and say that pay-per-view sucks, but just kind of overlook that and find that one thing, and you'll see it'll give you a good idea of what it is that Katred is performing here. So there you have it.
Yes.
All right, so now we got it. Clearly, there are more matches and more defining moments that you have to deal with and that you have to perform. But if you had to say it today, what would be Katred's defining in-ring moment?
Oh, wow.
Big question.
That is a big question. Then, starting to think of things, and wow, I really have been blessed to have many a moment. I want to say I'm just going to go with the first one that just popped in. And I will say that it was at the ECW Arena for House of Hardcore. And I got to do a head scissor on Jessica Havoc in the ring to a huge crowd, and it was I still have goosebumps from that moment. It was so cool, and so grateful for that moment, to be in that building and to be in that ring with so many people in the back that not only did I look up to, but I care about, and they were all watching, and for Jessica to have that moment and be so generous to work with me. So that was definitely a huge highlight for me.
Did the Angel appreciate it too?
Angel very much appreciated it, but again, was a little disappointed when we realized it was still here, because that was a huge moment, and it's just like, that wasn't it. That didn't work. What do we have to do to get you home?
Okay. I'm assuming, considering that is not going to be just an in-ring move. It's going to have to be something a little bit more than just that. Okay. But that was a big moment. Angel appreciated it.
That was a huge moment.
Even if she didn't leave.
Even if she didn't leave, we were still very appreciative of that moment.
Okay. That's good. I think we can go with that.
Okay.
Well, it's like I said before, it's kind of a tricky thing trying to understand / walk the line of the Angel. I mean, I don't know whether I should say he or she, and stuff like that.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay. It's
You're
beyond
good.
that.
Remember, don't walk eggshells with me.
Okay.
You say what you say from the heart.
Would you consider the Angel as a entity that is beyond good and evil?
Beyond good and evil.
Beyond good and evil. I simply am.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, technically, we all just are, and what we do.
Well, I don't know.
Our actions
There are some evil dudes out in the world.
There are. True. I think the Angel definitely came from a very positive place.
Okay.
Hence why being here on Earth is probably such a harsh reality to it, such a contrast. But it's just energy. It's just sort of living there. And obviously the job is to do at least I like to think so. The job is to do something great, to help somebody out. there's no evil in that. And
Okay.
we're doing something, we're helping, or it's helping, to, make a dream come true. My dream come true.
Well,
And,
that's
obviously
true.
I'm biased, but I think that's a great thing.
Okay. Now, that being said, there are occasions, I will say, that one could perceive the actions of yourself / the angel as less than nice. Let's put it that way.
This is true. And we will say that when you do see those things, 99% of the time, that's me. So if you see a little extra oomph, a little extra desperation, a little extra violence, that's mostly me.
That's mostly
Not
you.
proud of it. Not proud of it, but I need to do what I need to do in order to get that win.
Okay. Would you say that the angel assumes control when there's a camera in front of you more often than not?
More often than not, yes. Lately, it's been assuming control every once in a while now in the ring. It's very calming effect, very controlled. Where I'm erratic and crazy and just kind of all out there, there's just this calmness to it. And you'll see almost my demeanor change. When I look back at it, when I start seeing, a match, and I go, gosh, look, just everything's so different. Everything's so calm and just precise. And you can tell right back when I kick back in and just flailing about. So there's definitely a difference, and you can see it.
Hmm. Aside from going home, and I guess I use that for the angel.
Okay.
What other personal goal exists for you in the business?
For me, man, if I could just have one thing, like if I only had one thing left to do in wrestling, I'd want to wrestle in the UK, specifically for Progress Wrestling, but just in the UK in general. That is hands down my dream.
Well, I think that somebody needs to cut this clip out and send it over to Progress Wrestling.
I fell in love. I went over there and I caught one of their shows. I believe Chapter 15 is one I went to go see. Is in 2014, and fell in love with not just the wrestling and the talent there, but the fans, the venue, everything. Everything just clicked at that moment, and I just kind of looked around and had that moment of, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is definitely where I want to end up. So yeah, this is definitely something I'm working towards.
Does the angel agree with that?
Yes.
She does.
A huge yes.
Okay.
If we could high five, we would.
Okay. Well, you can always do a self high five, if that helps.
I could, yeah.
That's old DDP thing. So for the angel, if he or she didn't know that, that works.
That's all right.
Okay.
You might not do it in public, but I'll definitely self high five myself here.
Well, I'm going to suggest that you don't hold conversations with the angel in public anyway, because
there is that, but it is New York, so nobody really cares. It's fine.
Well, okay, yeah, you probably could just sit down there.
This is a normal occurrence, and yeah, it's totally fine.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess you can get away with that there. You and the angel have done a phenomenal job of covering. Well, I'm gonna put this mostly on you. I think the angel may be in hiatus right now. But you've done a phenomenal job of covering most of these questions. But now it's time to go into what my segment is called Random Questions.
It's time for Random Questions.
Just basically.
Oh boy, I was gonna say the lightning round, but that's close enough. Random questions.
Yeah,
oh boy, all right.
Close enough. You know, this is the portion that is not necessarily centered on or built around pro wrestling, but you know, I could toss that in every once in a while. But generally speaking, is relatable to whom that person is that we're talking to at the time. So you being associated with a fallen angel. Correction, an angel on a mission. So
on a mission.
We don't want to use fallen angel. So we have a set of questions specifically for you. Are you ready?
All right, let's go. I am ready.
Tell me the most famous or infamous fallen angel in history.
Oh, that would be Lucifer.
Correct. What are the names of the two angels trying to return to heaven in the movie Dogma?
Oh, no. I can't say Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Does that
doesn't count. those would be the actors. We need the character names. But you're correct. You're on the right road.
I am there. I know. Oh man, I don't want to cheat and Google right now. I won't do that. I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to
take an X on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's gonna kill me when you say it though. Wait, Bartholomew?
No.
Is that one of them?
No.
God. All right, go ahead. Go.
But if you need one hint, we'll say Thor's half brother.
Oh, Loki.
There you go. That's one.
That's one. Oh man, Loki is one.
And the other one does start with a B, but it's not.
It starts with a B. I knew it. That's why I went with Bartholomew. Oh man, Loki and I don't know it. Oh, it's gonna kill me when you tell me. I'm glad I did get Loki though. Go ahead, go for it.
Bartleby.
Oh.
Yes.
Jeez.
Loki and Bartleby are the two fallen angels that are desperately trying to return to heaven in the movie Dogma, directed and written by one Kevin Smith, part of his View Askew universe.
Just so brilliant. The fact that Alanis Morissette is God is the best thing ever. But go ahead, continue.
And if you haven't watched that movie, if there's anything that you must learn from that,
please do.
You do not listen to God when she speaks, because it will blow your head off if you're not dead already.
Will blow you. That's all right.
And it is a good movie. It's a phenomenal movie. And even has a poop monster in it. So, I mean, you know, how can you beat that?
How can you throw down that?
Which, oddly enough, and as I go off track one more time, existed in the Justice League Dark animated movie. So there's a recurrence of a poop monster in there. So hey,
that's
not quite as funny.
Just busting out the references. That's great.
I am. I'm on it right now, man.
You are. You're on fire.
In the television series Charmed.
No.
What was the name used to describe their equivalent of an angel?
Oh, no. My friend's going to kill me.
Your friend's going to...
I didn't watch Charmed enough.
Your friend...
because she was super into Charmed.
Oh.
But I didn't watch it as much.
Okay, well, you know what? Who's your friend? I need to make sure I clip this out so they can hear it. So, so they can get on you.
So probably... Oh, Stacy is definitely going to be very, very upset at me.
Stacy, jump on her.
She definitely will. She's probably screaming right now the answer.
She probably is.
What is the answer?
The answer is a white lighter. They're the guardian angel.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, they're the guardian angels for the good witches.
Look at that. Guardian White Lighter. That sounds like a pretty good move.
See, there
Might
you
have
go.
might have to get a submission hold and call it the White Lighter.
Hey, look,
Hey.
got you something new right there.
Yeah, there you go.
How do day-to-day people respond after hearing the backstory of Katred? What is the average response?
They usually go, "Oh, that's interesting," or "That's different,"
Okay.
and then say something similar to what you did, which is like, "Wow, that's really detailed." And you go, "Well, yeah. I mean,
That,
you don't want to be. You want to know about you. You should know who you are."
well, true. They don't say anything to you like I have to go sit across the room now or something like that.
No, but again, it could be a New York thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure if I go, somewhere else, they'll probably just kind of nod and just yes me to death and then walk away in fear. But that's fine. We'll just,
Yeah.
at least, it's fine. I have my family. I have my cat. That's all that matters.
And that's all you need.
That's all I need.
What is a talent that the general public doesn't know about Katred? Or that Katred
Talent.
possesses?
I like to. I love to sing. I also play instruments by ear. I can't really read music, but I play everything by ear. What else? I love doing voice impressions. I do it for my godson all the time, and yeah, I guess that's a talent. Is that a talent?
That is a
I
talent.
can't do the whole. Okay, cool.
Are you kidding me? Impressionists? People made careers off of being impressionists. You know who Aries Spears is, I'm sure. You got it.
Oh, yes,
Or
of
Dana
course.
Carvey, that's their whole shtick.
I know. I would love to do that one day. That's
What?
definitely a side goal to be a voice actor, especially for cartoons, because I'm big into cartoons. So.
What? Okay. Yes. What? First off, what's stopping you from doing the voice thing? I mean, other than the angel residing in your body, I mean, I guess that would be the obvious
I was
answer.
gonna say I'm very wrestling oriented right now,
Okay.
but hopefully that can
I think that's the angel's
that can
influence
take
on
off.
you. That's making you say these answers.
Maybe.
That's my guess. But cartoon oriented. Name me your top 3 cartoons. Go.
Top 3 cartoons: Animaniacs, Looney Tunes, and any Tex Avery cartoon. By the way,
Animated. So we're
I'm
we're, we're comically inclined as far as cartoons go.
yes.
All right.
I love laughter, love comedy, so anything making me laugh is. Oh, honorable mention: any of the Avatar: Last Airbender series, Korra and the original.
So I'm going to assume that you're probably fall into the category of people that did not like the live action movie.
You would be correct, sir. That is now called the movie that shall not be named. We don't talk about it.
Well, I didn't give it a name. I just said.
It just
Okay.
we're just not going to talk about that one.
Fair enough. Within the Animaniacs, I'm going to assume that the Animaniacs themselves are the lead act that you like to watch within that show. Because there's several characters within it.
There are several characters. Yes, I love them, but Slappy Squirrel was probably one of my favorites.
A bitter, angry old woman squirrel. That's
Yes,
Slappy.
I loved her. Slappy Squirrel, just sarcastic and just had a million one-liners, and they just got me each time. Love Slappy Squirrel.
You remind me of a young Don Rickles.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably watch some episodes once we get off the phone here. That's it. It's happening.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to stir that up. That you have to go watch the
You stirred
Animaniacs
quite a
now.
bit up. You helped me tons tonight. You're getting me to watch Animaniacs. You've named a new signature move for me. You've helped me get my story out. You've done a lot tonight. I'm very grateful.
Yes. I'm glad that you approve. Now here's one, and I'm just happy that you're pulling out stuff that I have a mental database on. Because again, I'm going to repeat it. I have a list of questions that are written that I have not even gotten to because
Oh my goodness.
because you keep pulling up stuff that I already know, so I don't have to go into it. So
Oh, okay. Is that a good or bad thing?
that's wonderful. That's great.
Oh, okay. Good.
Now I'm just going to put this one out here real quick, just because
Okay.
you put out animes. Now I'm not asking you to sing it, but
Oh no.
I'm just going to say.
Oh boy.
We know that the last lyric of the song changes. Here's the show's namey and blah blah blah.
Right.
All that
Uh-huh.
stuff. But here's one that they changed, I guess, because of the political climate at the time. So I'm gonna see if you can pick that up. Is it we're animaniacs, dot is cute and yakko yaks, wacko packs away the
Mhm.
snacks
While Bill Clinton plays the sax.
hey, now what did they change that to?
Oh. That's the only one I guess I only listened to
No.
it during those
I think
years.
they just swapped it out to the Clinton plays the sax. But it's close enough.
Oh, they did. Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know what difference it made, but
Yeah, I know, right? Should have
hey,
left it as is. It's
that's
still
right.
great.
Well,
Still a
Bill
great
Clinton
show.
plays the sax. That's right. Now I'm going to get back on that. I'm not going to jump off in Animaniacs no more. In the movie Ghostbusters.
Oh boy.
And we're talking Ghostbusters original, 1984.
Okay. Oh, that was 84? Good gravy. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good while ago.
That was.
Nobody respects the new one that came out in 2016, so I have to use this one.
I haven't, to be fair, I haven't watched that one, but the original will always,
the
will always have
original
a
was
special place in my heart.
the original was a beautiful movie. And on an entirely separate podcast, by the way, free plug for me, that
Okay.
had this conversation that, look, if you turn the volume down on Ghostbusters and you just watch that movie up until the point that you see a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, there's an arguable case that it will not come off as a comedy.
True.
There's an arguable
Very
case.
true.
I mean, it's kind of
No.
saturated. It's gritty. I mean, just think about some of those scenes in there. So there's an arguable case that this will not come off as a comedy up until you see that Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking down the street.
You know what? Now I have like a challenge. I want to do that tomorrow. Just watch everything on mute and see what happens.
Just watch it. Yeah, I mean, and you ain't got to do it with the volume off. Just look at it and just put your mind onto it visually.
Okay.
And just watch that movie from start to finish. Like, from the time they walk into the library to when they walk downstairs, when they see the library ghost. I'm not saying this
Mhm.
it comes off as a horror, but there is a strong case to be made that that the humor is removed if you take away the sound. Whereas 2016's Ghostbuster is different.
Challenge accepted. I'm doing it.
Well, you let me know. You text me back or something. I want to hear it.
I definitely will.
Now I got to get back to the question. See, look, you threw me
Okay.
out. You got too much,
I'm sorry.
You got too
Keep
much
doing
stuff
it.
in you. Okay. Ghostbusters original. When Bill Murray's character Peter Venkman arrives at Dana Barrett's apartment and specifically asks to speak to Dana, The entity that has
Yes.
possessed her body responds with this line. What is it?
There is no Dana, only Zool.
That is correct.
Yes.
You have that one down.
Oh, it's such a good line. I hope if there's a T-shirt out there, there has to be, that says that line. I'm definitely buying that shirt.
Well, I don't know. If your angel had a name attached to it, then you might be able to say there is no Katred.
That would have been, see, racking up the merch ideas. Got to find out the name. There is no Katred, only blank. We'll figure out that name. That's definitely a shirt.
There you go. And I said this earlier, but now it is in the form of a question. So I want you to think on this. The wrestling industry is filled with strange and unique individuals. If you had to point out another being, preferably a female wrestler, that would be equal to your unique persona, whom would that person be?
Ooh. Like one that's already established, or am I making one up, or?
No. Somebody that legitimately exists. You're not making anybody up here. I mean, because clearly we have enough unique individuals within the wrestling industry. I mean, you came out there ringside with a psychopath going against a superhero. So I mean, I think that should say quite a bit in and of itself.
That's true. All right, so sorry to repeat the question, so that way I get it fully now.
Okay, you being a quite unique character.
Okay.
You have an angel residing in you. So if you had to point out another individual who was of equal stature in terms of uniqueness in their persona, who could you point to and say, this woman here is quite unique?
Oh man, there's so many that's unique.
It is.
Which sounds hysterical.
And it's probably unfair.
It is unfair. It's totally unfair.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's a good question, but I really feel like there are so many great individuals, so many great.
Well, that's right. I'll toss out a few as we're kind of going through your mental database here.
You did, and you know what? And Tara's definitely up there.
Absolutely.
I love. I mean, come on. What can you say about just a dinosaur in the wrestling business? Like, that's amazing.
It is amazing and somewhat disturbing, all at the same time. Because I've talked to her, and hearing that she is willing to transform into a dinosaur is not normal.
It's not normal, but it gets the job done.
It gets the job done.
Me. I took quite a few moves from her last weekend when we were both in that four-way. So it definitely gets the job done. Maybe I should do something similar. Maybe I should turn into a dinosaur. That could be. No. I think we should leave that to her. Let's definitely leave that to her.
I think whatever entity resides in you already has its plans kind of set. So I'm not sure if you have.
This is like it's a one-bedroom apartment. There's no room for anything else. I get it. Yeah. Let her.
Yeah. See, I'm not sure if you have any choice in that matter. Yes.
That's true.
Of what you're going to change.
That's very true. I already signed the contract. This is happening. And but yeah, Tara's awesome. I would probably say she's definitely one up on that list.
So all right, so we'll go with Tara Calloway as probably equaling your unique.
One of the most unique characters that I've encountered.
Fantastic. You know, most of the things that I have brought up or talked about, or that you've brought up and talked about, you have some relative knowledge of, or vice versa. So I'm going to ask now, the Actors Studio. Have you ever
I
seen?
love it. Yes. Oh, this is so great. I'm so excited for this right now.
Okay.
I don't know my answers, but I'm excited for this set of questions.
Well, then you should be ready for this. If you have seen the Actors Studio, then you know the questionnaire that happens at the end. And
Oh, that's right.
this comes
Oh boy.
as part of my random questions, and most people don't even put the two together. But just talking to you, I was like, okay, she's got it. She knows it.
I got it.
So here's the other half of the random questions. Are we ready for this?
We are as ready as we're gonna be.
What is your favorite word?
Favorite word? Super dope.
Super dope. Okay. What's your least favorite word?
Oh. Yeah. I think your podcast is family friendly.
Yeah.
So
You can go. You can toss it out there. If it's too bad, we'll hit the censor button.
just bleep it out.
But bear in mind that there is a question that features that a little bit later. So I don't know if you want to toss that in there just yet. But go ahead.
That's true. Oh, you're right. That's true. Oh, actually, let's see. My least favorite word. Oh, moist is actually a really gross word for whatever reason. I don't know why. It just something's moist. You're like, ugh, why? There you go. You don't have to censor that.
I'm sorry, fans, but yes, that's hilarious to me. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
An open heart or a good heart.
What turns you off?
Arrogance, big egos.
What is your favorite curse word?
Oh man, I feel bad saying it out loud.
Well, that's the question, so you can say it.
That's true. Favorite curse word, ironically, is goddamn motherfucker.
What does that qualify as one?
Yeah, just one in one breath. If you say it in one breath,
it works.
fine.
Okay.
It works.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love, oh my gosh, love the sound of an audience at a concert when the musicians or the band, whoever's playing, stops playing their music and it's just the audience singing the song. Like that will every time bring me to tears, like happy tears.
Okay. What sound or noise do you hate?
The car alarm that does not shut up for a good hour at like 4 a.m. or construction.
Fair enough. What profession other than wrestling would you like to attempt?
Well, I think we talked about this earlier. Voice acting would be great. To be a voice actor for a cartoon, or I had to pick something else. I would love to be on Broadway.
Oh, now there's something different. I wasn't expecting that.
Musical theater.
You know that there's more to Katred than meets the eye, and this might bode a part 2 interview with all the stuff that I'm getting right now.
I would love that.
Well, the door is open. What profession would you not like to do?
Anything that you have to get up at like 4 a.m. to do.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'm just not about.
I might have to meet you on that one. I'm good there. This one has been altered for the profession that you exist in. You make
Okay.
it to the WWE, and Vince McMahon is there to welcome you. What would you like to hear him say when you arrive?
God damn it, that's a great character.
That's a good one. Good answer.
So get to use my favorite curse word and do a Vince McMahon impression. How can you go wrong with that?
You can't. That works. You have gone through the whole spiel, and you've made it down to the final rung. I can't believe that it's gone on this long. This
I
is
did it.
I see. This is far longer than what I even imagined I would get out of you. This is.
I hope that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Because when
Okay,
it
good.
goes like this, and I'm not really aware of the time, then that says something. That's a huge plus in my book.
That's a great feeling.
Fantasy booking.
I have the theory that every wrestler
Okay.
has their own personal storyline / angle that they have kind of tucked away into their mental database.
Uh-huh.
And, I'm of the belief that within that, there's that story that can get pulled out at a drop of a dime. It's like, hey, this is what I like to do. So,
Right.
Katred, tell me,
Yep.
what is your fantasy booking? Now, the parameters of that is that it has to be something that is legitimately accomplishable. So you can't say, hey, I want to have a match with Mr. Perfect. No, that you can't accomplish that right now.
Oh, well, right.
So,
Oh, wow.
fantasy booking, storyline,
Fantasy booking.
not just the match.
Oh, and storyline.
and storyline. Why? Because you're creative. So I'm especially
appreciate
pushing
that.
it for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, most people I get
Storyline.
off the line. I let off the hook with that, but not you.
Right.
Can't let you off the hook with it today. No.
Oh, man. Fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking.
Storyline. I would love, well, as you know, there's definitely going to be some sort of countdown to the end of my career, and it would be great to do a tournament, kind of like a gauntlet of all the people, all wrestlers especially who were there for milestones throughout my journey, and sort of end up with my last match being, or a few last matches being against the people who trained me. I would absolutely love that. To sort of go from, from where I am and come back from the beginning, all time related, very last match, and you're having a match either with or against, whether it be a tag team, all of us together, everybody who's helped me along the way, versus, another team of people who technically also have helped me along the way, whether it was beating me up or what have you. Just everybody that's been a huge deal and so important to my journey, to have them all in the same match from my very last match. That would be the best, at least for me, that would be the best storyline for me. Just have everything leading up to that last match.
Okay. That sounds groovy. Now, I usually toss in my 2 cents within the fantasy booking segment of the show.
Please do.
Now, I'm going to openly admit that this fantasy booking that I have for Katred is a direct ripoff of the Dark Phoenix storyline.
Okay.
I just figure at some point in time, the angel becomes impatient.
Okay.
You're not getting this job done fast enough. I don't have time for your, you know, mortal
None of your
confines.
shenanigans.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing this the way I need this thing done. So whatever
Right.
habitation that we got going on here is slowly
Mm-hmm.
starting to just go away
Okay.
until there is no Katred, only,
Only.
yes,
Yes.
she just
I'm liking this.
just takes over completely. To the point now that your colleagues and your wrestling colleagues are now concerned about you. But of course, Katrid's no longer in the house, so that's not being
Mm-hmm.
recognized. So now it's turned into, we got to get her back at all, no matter what the cost, all means necessary, blah blah blah.
Right.
Getting down to the point where here's the blow off. It is
Okay.
literally a match for your soul.
Ooh. I like it. I like it a lot. I especially love the idea of who would be the one to face me to get my soul back, basically.
Yeah,
Who's going to
that's
be
right.
that person?
Who would fight for you?
Who's going to be across from me? Yes.
That's right.
Who would? That's
what it's about.
I love
who
it.
would fight for you? Who would step into the ring and fight for you?
Look at this. I got goosebumps already.
Because
Book it. Make it happen.
Well, I wish I had a promotion where I could do that and the money to back it up. Because my easy
I
answer would
love
be
it.
Super Pereira. Like she's the superhero.
Okay.
That's the easy answer that I would have for that. You stick her in the
That
ring.
is the easy answer.
Because she's willing to fight. She's willing to fight for
Right.
saving your life, saving your soul, getting you back to where you need to be. This is it. I can't lose.
Right.
Otherwise, Katrid's gone forever,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of whether we got along or not. I can't. That's the perfect person to take in
Right.
that role, in my view.
Okay. Okay.
Now you may have
see
somebody
that.
different. I don't know.
It would be interesting to see who, at least in my eyes, this would be a kind of a cool twist if eventually it would be one of my biggest rivals, let's say, at that point. We've just beaten the crap out of each other over the years, and obviously there's animosity, and there's just all this anger and hatred, and how crazy it would be if it was that person who stepped up and said, you know what, even though we've been through all that, you may not be the person anyone thought that would fight for you, but I'm going to do it.
That is respect.
Yes.
See how we just booked that now? Fantasy booking.
I know. Fantasy booking. You are brilliant. I'm loving this.
Another plus of the show. So there we have it, folks. We've given the fantasy booking that she
You've
enjoys.
given me so much. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for her. I'm going to write this down. Who knows? You never know.
So what do we have here? She has to go back and look at Ghostbusters with the sound down.
Right.
You have to look at Ghostbusters 2016 because you haven't looked at it.
Right.
Just to be able to give a favorable comparison. Animaniacs, you have to go back and look at that just because.
Mm-hmm.
You have to write down your fantasy booking, to see if you can pitch somebody on it. But now, in fairness to that fantasy booking thing, that's got to take place over the course of like some months for that to really.
Oh yeah.
To really
Absolutely.
play out.
That's one thing that I don't see very often anymore, which is the slow build. And I always appreciated that, when I was younger, seeing that happen, how a feud would. There would be this slow build to it, and then that feud would, carry on for a while. I feel like now we're so we're so used to instant gratification that if something takes, like a month, maybe a month and a half, we're like, oh, hurry up, let's finish this. Like, no, let this story go for a little bit. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, I know. And everybody's so critical now.
I know.
If you don't
How
get
about just enjoying it?
if you don't get a answer right then and there, then it turns into this story sucks. So
I know. I'm like, how about we just sit there and just enjoy it and just love it for what it is?
because I don't have time
It's
to
okay
enjoy
not to like stuff. That's what it is. Well, time is a theme. Apparently, nobody has time to enjoy it.
it. See how I rooted that back around there? No time.
We did that. That was
Clockwork Angel.
just like clockwork.
There you go. And here's the time where you plug the social media again. Facebook.com/Clockwork Angel Katred. Twitter at Clockwork Angel Katred. And Instagram, Clockwork Angel Katred. I think I missed one wrong. Twitter, Clockwork Katred. That's it. You skip
Yes.
skip
There
the
you
Angel
go.
out of there. So there you go. You can follow her on all those venues. See how I root that back around because I'm on my job.
You did. Because you know what to do. You're on it. Told you. You're on fire tonight.
I try. I try to do my best as far as this stuff goes. So
That's all we can do. That's all any of us can do.
indeed, and again, I think just based on the route that this interview has gone, if I had the opportunity to get a part two, I'm going to ask for a part two because there seems to be a lot of stuff that just kind of brewing within you on various levels. The angel and the stuff that he or she likes with underneath that, whether that be movies and comic books and cartoons and so on and so forth. It's so much stuff in there. So it's more than I could handle in any one show. I can't say it enough, and I don't mean this as a bad thing. It has gone on far longer than I thought that I could possible.
Well, I enjoyed every second of it.
And I enjoyed you. I certainly appreciate every moment of that, and I'm going to give myself a plug here. So for anyone that is listening and has made it to this point, please, please, please show your support on both of our ends. I will replug Clockwork Angel Katred Facebook, Clockwork Katred on Twitter, and Instagram, Clockwork Angel Katred. You can follow on all of those platforms. As for the Women's Pro Wrestling Network, you can go to YouTube and put out Women's Pro Wrestling Network, all one word, and you can like our channel. Also, you can do the same thing for our Facebook page and for our website, WPNWrestling.com, and there's WPN Wrestling for Instagram and WPN Wrestling on Twitter. So there's all of these great things that you can find. And with the YouTube ad apocalypse, let me say that again, for the YouTube ad apocalypse, it is all the more important that you support whatever wrestling venue that you choose to follow, because YouTube has taken it all away. We don't get the support that we did a couple of months ago, because apparently wrestling is a terrible thing and the advertisers don't want any part of it. So your support is very, very important these days. So for those of you,
please support.
Yes. So for those of you that are doing it, whether you're doing that monetarily or it's just liking the pages and sharing it and putting it off to other people that will like it, those things count. It's all important, whether that be for Katred or myself. Either way, it matters. I think that covers a lot of ground there. Final words.
Yes, it does.
Katred. Any things that you have to put out there to your upcoming opponents or promotions or anything like that before we tie a bow on this thing?
Well, this weekend I will be in Staten Island for Warriors of Wrestling, and I will actually be in the 30-person Rumble. So you should definitely, if you're in the New York City area or tri-state area, please come down and see me try and kick at least 29 other people's butts out of that ring over the top rope.
So,
Definitely a challenge, but I think we might get this one. I'm feeling kind of good about this.
and you're not sure if this is the thing you're not sure if this is the key.
That's right.
Either. Every match
We don't know.
could be the match.
Every match. That's absolutely right.
Well, that sounds like a T-shirt.
That does. You are just. You know what? Do you want to just be my manager? Just handle all my creative. You got it.
I think you've done a phenomenal job with your creative. You have a wonderful looking T-shirt. You have this great banner on your YouTube. As much as I would like to pat myself on the back and say that I could offer something, I think you have a great creative outlet as it is. I don't know if that's you or the Angel or both. But I'm not sure if I can add it. I will add whatever I can when I can. You certainly can ask me whenever you want. I won't turn it away.
I definitely will take you up on that.
So yeah, I will give you whatever I got. But I certainly think that your creative devices have been firing on all cylinders without me, as it is.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. And for those that are listening, thank you for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you staying tuned to listen to Katred describe her journey as a human being dealing with the affliction, if you will, that she is dealing with. And as stated earlier, the next match could be the match. So you never know.
Could be the match.
Could be the one. It could be the one that gives the key, that gives opens the gateway back home. So,
let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So we will hope that she is able to get there before this before that fantasy book and that pitch earlier becomes reality. We'll just put it that way.
That's right. Exactly.
So for myself and Katred, thank you everyone for tuning into the show, and we will catch you on the next go round.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.